On today's DNVR Broncos podcast, we are breaking down the joint practice with the Broncos and the Cardinals. We've tracked every single play of the Broncos offense and every single play of the Broncos defense. Plus, we've got some big-time injury updates and an update on the preseason game. Huge show starting now. The Broncos wrap up training camp with a huge joint practice against the Arizona Cardinals, and Nix saved his best for last. We've got an awesome show to bring you today. We're breaking down every single play of Broncos Cardinals joint practice. I was watching the offense. Henry Chisholm was watching the defense. We saw it all, and we can't wait to bring it to you in the Toyota Lounge, driven by your local Front Range Toyota stores. We are the DNVR Broncos Podcast, and shout out to you here for producing this behind the camera. Henry, massive show today. We've got the offense to talk about.
Yep.
We've got the defense to talk about. Then we've got three or four injury updates, significant ones. One player was in an ambulance for a portion of practice today. Another had...
You can't say that and move on. You can't do that to these people.
He's okay.
There we go. Okay.
So he walked out of the ambulance. He's okay. We'll get to that one. I was able to say it because he's okay.
Yes.
Then we have a pretty significant update on Saturday's preseason game. We got so much to get into, so let's dive into it now. Let's just say if that person wasn't okay after being in an ambulance, I wouldn't be saying this in like such an upbeat sort of way. The tone of this show would probably be a lot different.
It would be very different. It would be the end of the season.
But Donald wants to know how it's Boeing. And I'll tell you what, man, this Boeing is just taking off, and we are flying high right now. Nix looked incredible. Saved his best for last. Technically, this was the last training camp practice, and it's the last one open to fans. It's the last one that we get to fully report on, and it's the last one. And they had it with the Cardinals. Were in town, and I got to say, man, this was an action-packed practice. Just right around 2 hours exactly. Had a little bit of 20, 30 minutes of normal warm-ups and one-on-ones and individual drills, and then it just got directly into the team, the Broncos offense against the Cardinals defense, Broncos defense against the Cardinals offense. So let's dive into it, and let's start with the offense. So the way we did this, so that you guys could have every single play and know exactly what went down, was I watched the Broncos offense go against the Cardinals defense. Henry watched every single play of the Cardinals defense, or the Cardinals offense going up against the Broncos defense. So how we're going to do this show, I'm going to tell you what went down on the offensive field. Really good news. And then Henry's going to tell you what went down on the Broncos defensive field. Maybe it's as good of news. I don't know. You want to give us a tease or no?
No.
Okay, no tease?
It just... I don't like being the bad guy, but here we are again when all of a sudden I'm the one watching that and you see Bo. Yeah.
We didn't choose this,
No,
though.
it just happened.
I gave you what was supposed to be the better unit.
I would have guessed that I'd have the good news.
Yeah, and crazy enough, you don't. But maybe, I think Broncos fans will think that's good news. If they had to choose one side of the ball to look better today, 95% of Broncos Country would have chose the offense.
Both would have been preferable, of course, but if you had to pick one. Yeah.
So I get to give you the good news. Henry will give you the other news, let's just say. And I'm curious to learn how the Broncos defense was. I just watched the offense the whole time. I really don't know outside of like a couple sentence recap. So Henry, I'm going to do my best job to tell you what you missed on the offensive side. And let's just start off by saying, without a doubt, Nix's best practice, and it couldn't have come at a better time. Earlier this week, he probably had his worst practice of training camp, and we talked about it. He threw an interception, and outside of that had like -2 passing yards before a couple of easier passes. That was not the case today. Nix was connecting with every single receiver on the field. He was doing it with pressure in his face. He was doing it in a clean pocket. He was making plays with his feet. He was making every single sort of throw. Check downs to 20-yard completions to a massive, massive touchdown. And there's a lot to get to from the team period, so I'll just kind of skim through what happened during 7-on-7. And Henry, because you're probably learning this for the first time, stop me and ask questions.
Oh, I will. I'm taking my notes.
Good. You're taking notes here. Okay, so Broncos offense started. They actually did 2 7-on-7 periods to start, and he started off with the short completion to Adam Troutman for 5 yards. Then he comes back. He tries to hit Devon Vele in the middle, and Max Weldon was all over Devon Vele, had a very nice PBU. Then he goes back to the tight ends to Lucas Kroll for a 5-yard completion. Then he rounds out this first team period with a 20-yard pass to Pat Bryant. And this was like, okay, let's go. We're feeling it. Starting 3 for 4 essentially in 7-on-7s. And this pass to Pat Bryant was a rocket of a pass. Wasn't the most accurate pass, but Pat Bryant did a fantastic job adjusting his body. It was behind him. He jumped up, was able to get it. So I'd love to see the rookie make a play in joint practice right away, make his presence felt. Cardinals defenders were like, okay, this guy can play. Then the next 7-on-7, go back to the tight ends. It was the tight end show to start. Short little completion to Evan Ingram for 5 yards. Then the tight end continues, goes to Lucas Kroll for 2 yards. Then he hits Pat Bryant, goes back to the rookie for a 5-yard completion. Then it just a little outlet pass for Court for a yard. So it's like, okay, a lot of short passes, 1 deep completion in 7-on-7, but 1 deep completion, 1 incompletion, and the others are completions. We'll take this. I like Bo's taking what the defense is given. A good little start to 7-on-7. And then team is when he really started to heat up. But he faced adversity at the beginning of this.
Oh, no.
And Henry, it wasn't all pretty when it came to the offense. It was all pretty when it came to Bo Nix and the receivers. It wasn't pretty when it came to protection, specifically to start practice. The protection was really tough, and Peyton Manning was in attendance to see Bo Nix's great day. Maybe that gave him a little juice. He's like, oh, I got a Hall of Famer over there. I'm going to put on a Hall of Fame performance. And that's what he did. And also, along with the offensive line protection issues at the beginning, the run game, not many holes were opening up here. And that's how it started. J.K. Dobbins immediately met in the backfield on a run, so it was for a tackle for a loss right away. One thing I do want to mention really quick is the Cardinals' defensive line might be their best overall position, might be their deepest. They have some guys. They signed Montez Sweat this offseason. They've got Calais Campbell. They have a couple of other good guys there, so they've got huge guys on their defensive line, and that did cause issues for the Broncos' offensive line in both the pass game and the run game. You also have Trey McBride, who might be their best player, but I don't know how deep the rest of their tight end room is. You obviously have Marvin Harrison Jr. I don't know.
Buda Baker might be their best.
Buda Baker's really good.
Yeah.
I don't off the top of my head, I don't know who their other safety is though. So that defensive line, like as an entire position group, might be their deepest, and we were able to see that today. So JK not able to get anything going on the ground. Then they do another run for JK, and this one actually, it was a draw. He actually gets a couple of yards. It was a good Josh Sweat, not Montez Sweat. I'm sorry. They both look very similar. Yes, Montez is with the Bears. They're both just like massive guys that can play the edge, have their hand up or in the ground.
Put that hand
up.
anywhere.
Yeah, they can put both their hands anywhere. Next run, RJ Harvey, tackle for a loss. Again, not the running back's fault again with this one. So 2 out of the first 3 run plays, tackle for a loss. Then play action from Bo. He ends up just running for it because there was pressure in his face right away. And then Jaleel had a nice run into the right, then a hard cut back to the left. So Jaleel was able to make something when there really wasn't much there. So it was like, okay, Bo wasn't able to do anything on this one. A little concerning about the running game here, but again, defensive line pretty good there. Then
real quick,
yes,
Sean said after practice he talked. First of all, he talked a lot.
Set a record,
37 minutes.
Yeah,
pretty crazy.
On some people's watches, it hit 38.
Really, Chris Thomason says 37 minutes.
Well,
I trust him.
He's
of all
the
the watches
timekeeper. This broke the record by 5 minutes.
Yeah, no, he really had a lot to say. At 30 minutes, when he said any more questions, I was like,
my gosh.
Really? Because usually at that point, it's like, you better have something coming or he's going to walk away.
Really quick, typically coaches' press conferences are anywhere between 7 and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Sean's now gone over 30 minutes and almost 40 minutes.
Which I
twice now.
Mostly good stuff, too.
Yeah.
But one of the things he said was that you're going to see a totally different run game this year. And And he's kind of hinted at that before, and other guys have basically said it's a wide zone running system, but it really does sound like the structure is going to be very different. And the fact that he went on so long about that in particular and had the positive things to say makes me think that, again, having not watched the run game, that plays like Jaleel, which I'd imagine those cutbacks, the way the wide zone works, the aim point is at the edge, and then you read your blocks, and then if it's the edge or you cut back, you find that lane. I would imagine he was feeling pretty good about what he saw, and that play is probably a big part of it.
Yep, exactly. So it was good to see something positive from the run game after a couple of tough ones. Then the next team period, you see the Broncos come back, and right away, Josh Sweat just torches Mike McGlinchey. It was a sack on Bo right away from that right side. There was defensive holding on the play, but there was also offensive holding on the play on Mike McGlinchey as well. Bo didn't even throw the ball, so it actually wouldn't have been a sack because the offsetting penalties would have just created a new down. But from the eye test, not a good play. It's like, and then this started reminding me like, okay, last week during the joint practices with the 49ers, Bo was great, but he was under pressure all the time. Is that going to be the same thing this practice? And it was for about the first half of practice. Then it got better the second half of practice. This next one, Bo has a good pocket. So much time. I think Bo was even surprised with how much time he had in the pocket. But he ends up just throwing a check down to J.K. Dobbins. Yeah, I think he just got a little excited and didn't know what to do with it, so just found an open J.K. in the flat for about a 7-yard completion. Then they do a jet sweep to Marvin Mims. Marvin might have potentially been absolutely his head blown off by the right defensive end on that play, or he would have got around the guy and got like a 10-yard gain. Hard to tell when you're not hitting there. So we'll say it was a 10-yard gain.
Okay, but he does still have his head.
He does still have his head, and I'll tell you what, he used his head in the rest of practice. This might have been Marvin Mims' best practice as well. Just, use his head by manipulating defenses and getting open and catching the ball and being a playmaker.
Not like catching with the face mask.
Right. No. Yeah. He did not do that. He left that to his hands. Then you had an inside toss to Harvey for at least 3 yards. Then Bo Nix started looking deep. He hit Devon Vele for 15 yards in the middle of the field. And I think this is when Bo was like, okay, I've now completed a couple of deep passes. Now let's just continue to stretch this field. And that's what he did. Remember how I said Marvin Mims?
Used his head,
About like 35 seconds ago? Yep. The next team period, it starts with the 2nd and 10. Bo Nix steps up in the pocket. I love the way Bo manipulated the pocket today with and without pressure, and kind of stepped up in the pocket, veered right, found the opening, and hit Marvin Mims on the right sideline for 15 yards. So now we're cooking. Now we're back-to-back. Significant completions. In 2 plays, we've gone 35 yards with Bo. He's feeling himself in this next play, Henry, the play of the day on the offensive side of the ball. Do you like touchdowns?
Yeah, I'd say so, yeah.
Do you like 70-yard completions?
Yeah.
What if I told you Bo combined the two?
Jeez.
Yeah.
And Marvin used his head?
I don't know if Marvin did.
Was it Troy?
Someone used their head.
Please tell me it's Troy.
I'll tell you who it is. After I give a shout out to our friends over at Branded Bills, where whether you need snapbacks, trucker fits, beanies, or tees, Branded Bills has you covered with performance and style. If you're going to be out repping anything this fall, it's got to be Branded Bills. If you're looking for some gear to get your brand or to have your brand stand apart from the crowd, Branded Bills has you covered with the best custom headwear. Start your order and their dedicated team will help you create the exact custom apparel you need. They have a partnership with Colorado State as part of their campus collection. So Henry, what we need to do, we need to get that Colorado Rockies hat off your head and get a CSU hat on your head from Branded Bills.
I kind of grew out of that.
You're going to love it so much that you're even going to wear a CSU hat.
Wow.
Because Branded Bills is so good. And here's the cool thing. I'm going to get 15% off when I buy you a Branded Bills hat by using the code BBDNVR over at brandedbills.com. Use that code BBDNVR for 15% off your first order over at Branded Bills.
And shout out to Cake Mortgage. For any of you who need a mortgage, Cake is the route to go. It's especially good for people who don't have traditional income, maybe don't have a W-2. If you're somebody who's self-employed or owns a small business or does a bunch of freelance work, whatever it may be, they're able to find different ways to get you approved for your loan, like looking at certified profit and loss statements, so looking at your bank statement so that they can see that there is money coming in, even if you're taxes, your W-2 says, maybe isn't making the most money at this point. Whole bunch of creative things that they can do. They can help you get a rental property if you're trying to get into that game. Even if you don't have like a whole bunch of starting money, they're able to find ways to get these things done, which is pretty cool. So call 800-EAT-CAKE. That's 800-EAT-CAKE. Again, call 800-EAT-CAKE. Get a bigger slice of the American dream. Call now or visit cakehome.com to read our 5-star review and to get started. Be sure to mention DNVR sent you. Cake Mortgage Corp, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 1734623, licensed in Colorado by the Division of Real Estate. Terms and conditions apply.
I love Cake. I also love everyone that's tuning in with us on a big time show. Hit us with the thumbs up if you're tuning in. The Twitter chat is going nuts right now, so make sure to hit us with the thumbs up. We really appreciate it, and we love bringing you the most up-to-date Broncos coverage. That's what we're doing on this show today. I also love, Henry, 70-yard passes that turn into touchdowns when Bo Nix does it in a perfect way. So he drops back to pass. He looks to the right. I think buys the safety off, gets him to go to the right side. Devon Vele is going, starting from the slot, does a little slot fade. I don't know who was supposed to be on him. Wide open. Bo Nix had eyes in the back of his head, knew he was wide open, turns, throws him the ball. Devon Vele catches it about 40 yards downfield. Bo Nix put it on a rope, and then he would have ran past the safety that was already deflected to the right-hand side, tries to catch up. Too late. Devon Vele gone. 70-yard touchdown for the Broncos. And Henry, this might have been the play where Bo Nix threw a no-look pass. Those aren't my words. Those are the words of the Cardinals defensive player, Mack Wilson. Let's actually hear this clip right now. Shout out to RG for catching this one. You hear? Let's dial it up. This is Mack Wilson being asked just, what have you seen from Bo from year 1 to year 2?
Yeah, Bo, you could tell he definitely made the year 2 leap. Just comparing, what I saw last year with him as a rookie, and he was out there making no-look throws and stuff, and I'm just happy for him. Honestly, a guy who's from Alabama, I'm from Alabama as well, so I'm extremely proud to see, what he do the rest of his career and things like that.
Remember, this isn't Bo's teammate now. This is a guy on the opposite side that pretty much just got torched by him, talking about him with so much praise. I think this was the no-look pass. Because it was a 40-yard pass in the air that went for a 70-yard touchdown. Pretty good when you can do a no-look 70-yard touchdown pass.
Yes, definitely good. Definitely get a positive grade for that.
Yes, you do, and the positive grade just continued. Actually, I think Bo might have been just a little too juiced from that last throw, where I think this might have been his worst pass of the day. The RJ Harvey coming out of the backfield, Bo just couldn't hit him. It was a short pass. It was low, not a good pass, but you'll go 1 for 2 if it includes a 70-yard touchdown pass. Bo Nix bounces back with 2 good throws. The next one he hits Lucas Kroll short for 5 yards. So, I mean,
big
Kroll,
day for Lucas Kroll.
Big day for tight ends, too. And then we'll start to see the receivers develop later, actually, right now. The next play, Bo Nix hits Troy Franklin, first Troy sighting of the day, 20-yard completion down the right sideline. Really good to see Troy get on the board.
I love
so
hearing sideline.
We have big completions now to Troy Franklin, Devon Vele, Marvin Mims. Courtland Sutton's going to get in here at some point, so just hang tight. The next team period, all of these team periods up to this point, Henry, have been just normal team periods. Not really move the ball periods yet. It's just traditional periods right now. And now we go to a little run up the middle. J.K. Dobbins, there's nowhere for him to go.
This is still team period?
New team period.
Team period.
Yeah, new team period. J.K. Dobbins doesn't have anywhere to go. Offensive line didn't really create a hole. Next one, same thing. RJ up the middle. Not much there. Both of these aren't TFLs, though, so it's good to see them not going backwards, but not really going forwards. Then Bo Nix has a great pocket presence as well. Steps up, hits Marvin Mims for a gain of 25 yards. That's 2 big plays for Marvin Mims. Not only was this Bo Nix's best day in camp, this is also Marvin Mims's best day in camp, and no better time to have it than at the end of camp, getting closer to the season. This next one, Bo just takes off and runs for a couple of yards. Then he has an incompletion to Court. Something was slightly off here. Benny would say it's always the receiver's fault when something's off. Communication was off a little bit. I think Court might have gone 1 or 2 yards too long, because Bo threw it, and then Court was just late there, but Court almost was able to come down with an incredible catch. because he was just like 2 yards late, he had to dive for it. The defender was there, smacked the ball away, but still Court was almost able to come up with it. So when you have a miscommunication, you still have almost a completion, which was good.
Yeah, I was laughing at me for saying, I heard some gossip about this play.
Oh, tell me.
Because
I want the juice.
Well, it's just that because there's some people who go between the fields.
Yeah.
So there's probably 50 people watching the offensive field, probably 10 or less of us watching the defensive field.
Yeah,
and
your information is more valuable.
Occasionally, somebody will like make the switch, and whenever they come over, it's like, what's happening? What's happening? And so there was one where it's like, oh, Court's hurt. And it's like, wait, Court's hurt?
Oh, yeah.
Because he like limped off after that. And it's like, broke it. I had to like break up a pass or something like that. The other one was the injury that we're going to include the detail that it's fine, but it did look scary from what I heard. When that piece of gossip got to us, everybody's like looking around frantic.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, and we'll get to that one, but really quick on the Court one, because people were freaking out online. Someone put it out online that like Court was hurt. Court was never hurt. I think Court might have fell wrong either on his tummy or
Not
on
the
a
tummy.
little bit below the tummy, like maybe the ball, kind of hit
I know
right
it's under
there,
the tummy.
In the groin area, and it was just like it was one of those where I could tell he wasn't hurt. He was in a little bit of pain right there, but some people started freaking out and put it on. He was back the very next play that the first team offense had, and actually. Bo Nix said, I'm going to show everyone the Court's okay because I'm going to throw him the ball here. So now we get our first team period that has some stakes to it. So Broncos in the red zone, starting at their own 20, little move the ball situation, potentially, I think. And Courtland Sutton gets a 2-yard crosser from Bo Nix. So now we get 2nd and 8 from the 18. J.K. Dobbins slipped on a run. He's still able to pick up a yard. So the offensive line did a good job getting him enough room so when he slipped, he could still get up and get a yard. So now we're looking at 3rd and 7 from the 17 going in, and Bo Nix hits Marvin Mims for a first down, but the ball was punched out. It was a great PBU. Marvin had his hands on it. Not a fumble, but not a catch. So Broncos offense should be off the field, but that's why it's kind of moved the ball, because Sean Payton gives the Broncos offense another chance. It's 2nd and 8 from the 14. R.J. Harvey gets 2 yards on a run, and then it's 3rd and 7, and Bo Nix was definitely sacked. But then he throws the ball to Mims for what would have been a first down. But again, another protection issue came up. This was one where Bo did not hold the ball for too long. Just the sack happened right away. So not the best after a couple of really good series from the Broncos. This one wasn't the best because they weren't able to get much. If Marvin's able to hold on to that, then Broncos are probably getting a touchdown there, but he wasn't able to, and the running game wasn't able to do much. So now,
good question from Daniel, who had tummy on their bingo card today. Shout out to whoever did have tummy on the bingo card.
Yeah.
Also, shout out to Daniel, True Montanan earlier, asking which one of us was on the special teams. Like, who's watching the special teams?
You better have been. Henry, you are Mr. Special Teams.
There was like,
Henry, this is where back of the rosters are made, and you're back of the roster, Hank.
There were a lot of field goals, for example.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't get locked into, like, I'm not measuring out the distances of the Cardinals kicker kicking field goals. Although he did have one like doink, then just barely go out. Almost looked like he was going to double doink, but
I'm pretty sure Will Lutz was good.
That's the other thing, is it's so hard just to even tell.
It really is, actually. You don't realize how important the officials are in saying good or not until you don't have them, even though they were out there today.
They were.
Okay, so next team period, we're almost through with the offense. Red zone, again, Bo Nix has an overthrow to Evan Ingram in the back of the end zone. Incomplete. And 2nd and goal from the 10. There's a tackle for a loss, 2 yards on a run. So Broncos are now backed up. But now this next one, they go 3rd and goal from the 7. And 3rd and goal from the 7, Bo Nix finds a wide open Courtland Sutton on the right side for a touchdown. I wasn't able to see how the play developed, but somehow Sean or Bo or Court was able to get Court kind of on a delayed wheel route from somewhere on the right side, and he was just able to trickle out. He was pretty darn open, and Bo found him. Very good pass, very good catch. Touchdown, Broncos. They follow that up with a 1-yard run, and then it rounds out by defensive lineman just knocking down a pass at the line of scrimmage. So overall, Broncos got into the end zone, feeling really good about that period. Now, This is a move the ball period. It does not feel like it's a situation, though. Like, it doesn't feel like the clock is running out or anything. This is just, early second quarter, let's say. I'm making that part up because there's all the time in the world. The Broncos are at their own 20-yard line, trying to move 80 yards down the field for a touchdown. Toss to J.K. Dobbins, loses 2 yards. Another run for a negative gain. Don't like to see it, but because Bo's throwing the ball well, not too worried about it. Then he hits Courtland Sutton on the right side for 9 yards, comes back with a Harvey run, which goes absolutely nowhere. So then Sean's like, you know what? F this running game. We're just going to, or not F the running game, but we're just going to skip the running game from now on. We're going to go to the air. Bo hits Marvin Mims on the left side for 15 yards. Next play, he steps up in the pocket and just overthrows. There were some people saying Marvin should have caught it. I guess if you're in the belief that if it touches your fingertips, you need to catch it, Marvin should have caught it.
Better phrase than it is actual advice is something that I've learned.
Yeah.
Because like the OBJ catch, if you can touch it, you can catch it.
Right.
But also, do we really have to demand people make that catch?
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's very fair. That's how I felt about this one. You probably will see people out there saying Marvin should have caught it, but again, could have been a little bit of a better throw, and
Where was
Marvin
it?
maybe could have made it. Was deep down the left sideline.
Okay.
If he hit him in stride, this would have been a 45-yard touchdown, but wasn't able to. So Broncos are now on the Cardinals' 45-yard line. Draw for Harvey, no gain. Then Bo hits Trent Sherfield down the left sideline for 20 yards. So chunk plays. Bo Nix is completing chunk play after chunk play after chunk play. And then...
Did you say 25 or 35?
20 yards.
Oh, 20.
Yep.
Nice.
Now the best run of the game, of the day. It's another pull. I guess outside. I don't actually know how it was set up, but it was definitely to the outside.
Okay.
And RJ Harvey hit the hole great. Now, it wasn't a traditional outside zone run because there was just so much space right away. So it might have been a pitch or I don't know exactly what it was, but RJ Harvey had space to run, and when you give RJ Harvey space to run, man, he just took off, shot out like a cannon for 20 yards. So now the Broncos right around their 15, 20-yard line, and Bo Nix finds Evan Ingram in the middle of the field on a seam for a touchdown. It was a great throw. It was a great catch. But it was too good to be true, according to the official, because they threw the flag for offensive pass interference on Evan Ingram. So Sean Payton said, I don't care. It's over. We scored. Got a touchdown.
Geez.
So didn't even redo the period. So we're going to say it was a touchdown. The officials are going to say it was a flag. But regardless, Bo Nix got one run that was help, that RJ Harvey 20-yard run. Outside of that, he got no help from the running game, and he was still able to go 70 yards for a touchdown, or 80 yards. Yes, 80 yards for a touchdown, or I guess 60 yards, but he would have had 1st and 10 again if you include that. So really impressive series from Bo and Trent Sherfield and Marvin Mims and Courtland Sutton, and actually those were the only people that had catches on that drive. So now final drive of the offense, and Bo just picked up where he left off.
Did you catch the scenario here?
Yes, I think so.
It was like a minute 14 or something?
What I had was a minute 10.
Okay.
No timeouts.
Okay.
At their own 30. So the offense is backed up at their own 30, and they're down 3. So you need a field goal to tie.
It was 4th quarter.
It was 4, I believe.
I think I checked.
Okay.
I didn't see the
quarter.
scoreboard at the start, and so then I was just...
Yep.
Yeah.
So
I'm
4th
glad you
quarter,
got that.
that's huge to know. So what Sean is looking for in these situations is a field goal. And then if you get close enough to the end zone, then he starts thinking touchdown to win. So what the Broncos, a successful drive here from Sean's mind about the offense, is let's get a field goal. Let's get in good enough field goal range to make this easy for Will Lutz. And Bo Nix certainly did that. First one, short incomplete pass to Courtland Sutton. Sutton was completely covered. There was pretty much no chance of getting this, but the ball was not in harm's way. Bo says, you know what? I'm going to go back to Sutton. He hits him for 12 on a out to the left sideline. Courtland catches it, gets his feet in bounds, goes out of bounds. It was exactly how you want it drawn up, because you get the first down, you get 12 yards, you get out of bounds. Now the Broncos have the ball on their own 42. Bo Nix is nearly sacked, but he's able to step up, and he hits Troy Franklin in the middle of the field for 9 yards because it's no timeouts left. Broncos run up to the line. And instead of spiking it, they do a hurry up, and he hits Court for a completion to get the Broncos on the 35-yard line. So a big gain right there. What is that, 17 yards, I believe, to Courtland Sutton. Out of bounds. No. Hits him in the middle of the field. So Broncos have 1st and 10 from the 35. They're in good shape, so they hurry up. And then he hits Sutton again for 10 yards. Sutton gets out of bounds. So in just those couple of plays, thanks to Courtland Sutton and Troy Franklin and Bo Nix, now you're at the defense's 25-yard line. 1st and 10, 19 seconds left. In this,
Wait, what yard line?
25.
25, thank you.
So they've completed it. They've gotten to field goal range. Now Sean Payton's kind of changing what he wants. And he's like, let's get a touchdown now. When you need a touchdown and you're in this situation, who do you go to, Henry?
The answer is Courtland Sutton. But also, I would say Troy Franklin. But that's because I'm wrong about things.
Well, Bo Nix said you're wrong about both of those. He goes to Michael Bandy.
Oh, of course.
But here's the situation. So it's 1st and 10 from the 25, 19 seconds left, no timeouts. Bandy's wide open in the middle of the field. He hits him. Completion. Then offense runs up to the line of scrimmage, spikes it. 2 seconds left. Sean says, I want 4 more seconds. So there's 6 seconds left in the game because Sean knows, okay, with 2 seconds left, we're just going to kick the field goal. We're down to the 10-yard line, kick the field goal, we win. But Sean's like, for my offense, I want to give them one more opportunity. See what they would do with 6 seconds left on the 10-yard line. So essentially you have 5 seconds to make a play.
Wow.
And if it scores, you win the game. If it doesn't, then you kick the field goal. So ball on the 10-yard line, 6 seconds left. Bo, with 4 seconds, throws a pass into the end zone, and it's knocked down. A good play by the Cardinals defense. So 2 seconds left. Broncos would have kicked the field goal if they were kicking field goals. Successful drive from Bo Nix, and just a really, really, really good day from Bo. No pass was thrown in harm's way. He had a 70-yard touchdown pass. He took checkdowns when needed, but he consistently was hitting 15, 20, 25-yard completions to Courtland Sutton, to Marvin Mims, to Troy Franklin, to Devon Bailey. He was spreading the ball out all over the field. Bo Nix's best day by far. And Henry, dare I say, Bo Nix looked like a top 4 or 5 quarterback in the NFL in practice today, living up to Sean Payton's standards. Let's hear from the defensive side of the ball after.
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
I gave a shout out to our friends over at Bet365, where if you're Bo leaving today, whether it's on the Broncos, whether it's on Bo, whether it's on Troy Franklin, you can get in on all of your NFL bets over at Bet365. They're never ordinary. So they've got everything you could want over at Bet365, maybe even including our hot takes that we said yesterday. I said Evan Ingram, 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns. You said Troy Franklin was going to lead the team in receiving. Ryan said Nick Bonito is going to lead the NFL in sacks. You could probably get in on all of those over at Bet365, whether it's now or a couple of weeks before the season. So Bet365 has got you covered, whether it's the NFL, NBA, NHL. MLB is still going on if you want to bet on the Rockies, and you can do it with bonus bets. If you use the code DNVR365 when you sign up over at Bet365, you are going to get $150 in bonus bets. When you use that code DNVR, deposit $10 and place a $5 bet. $150 in bonus bets is going to hit your account, win or lose. Bonus bets can be placed on spreads, totals, player props, futures, and more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary. Bet365 must be 21 and older, physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, once help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply.
And we want to give a shout out to our friends at End Credit Union, a new partner of ours. End Credit Union is awesome. They do a bunch of really cool things. They have basically all the stuff you could look for, like no surprise fees, no minimum balance requirements. The money in your account even earns dividends. The best part is they have a Broncos checking account that includes all that stuff. You also get a layer that all Broncos fans are going to want. You get 10% off food and gear on game days at Empower Field at Mile High. You get a Broncos branded debit card. So wherever you go, you get to swipe that. I thought I saw a message that they're going around getting some cards figured out today for us.
Yeah,
I'm really hoping they work.
Get that just have money on them.
Wouldn't that be awesome? Yeah. And you also get the chance to win tickets. So every time you swipe the card 10 times, you get one more entry into the drawing for tickets. There's a whole bunch of different perks. The Broncos account is obviously perfect for fans like us. So if you're ready to bank like a Bronco, go to ent.com/DNVR. That's ent.com/DNVR and sign up for Broncos checking today. Ent Credit Union is insured by NCUA. Membership required. APY, annual percentage yield. Account requires associate Ent Broncos debit card.
We have only 10% of the likes of the live viewers right now. Let's get this up. Let's say it by the end of the show, we've got 1,000 likes. Henry will drink one of those Coors Lights that's been sitting on this table for potentially years. It's kind of warm in the studio, so it's warm beer. So let's give Henry a drink. How about that?
Yeah. Also, our friends over at PHNX were here.
Yeah.
Bo and Johnny. They're going to be doing the show from our studio over there around 4. So I think it's going to be kind of fun to hear what the Cardinals guys have to say about that same practice. So if you somehow don't get enough after all of this, head over there in about an hour.
Yes, absolutely. Great shout out. Henry, I hope your vocal cords are ready to rock and roll. Tell me what happened on the defensive side. Broncos dominated, right?
Unfortunately, they did not.
Oh, man.
Which is a little bit disappointing. 7-on-7s. We won't spend too long. 2 big plays that you should know about. One was the Jaquan McMillan pick, which I didn't actually see for myself, but there was the rumors going around. The Jaquan McMillan pick, he was able to get underneath the guy and pull it off.
And the rumors were that Jaquan was beat earlier in the 7-on-7s, and he's kind of got into this habit of getting beat and then coming up with the big play.
Yep. And again, like if he gives up a 40-yard play every game and you also get a turnover every game, as our guy Chris Thomason pointed out, that happened last week in the preseason game.
Yeah.
Wound up giving up 7 and scoring 3, so not ideal, but it is what it is. Also, we get into the team stuff. Weird rotations, first of all, with the quarterbacks. I'm sure it was the same over there.
Yeah.
So it was kind of strange seeing more reps for the starters, then they go to the 2, and then back for a couple reps, then back to the starters for a bunch, then to the 3s for a couple.
Yep.
But we'll just go through the starters unless there's anything crazy that happens with the backups.
I don't think I mentioned one backup in my rundown, but you're welcome to.
It's different for them. It's different for them. Like here, it's like, LaVelle Bailey.
That's true.
You know?
You're right. Good point.
Starts off 85 in the flat, play action, gets an extra 10 yards on the run. Tough start. That was Trey McBride, and it was Trey McBride over and over and over again. The run game never got much going. They're number 33. I actually don't have their roster, so I was just writing down numbers.
I just threw mine away.
Whoever their number 2 running back is had a short little run.
Javonte
Jonah
Williams?
Ellis there. I doubt
33?
it. I think we would have heard.
Yeah. He's with the Cowboys.
As far as I know, yes. As of a few hours ago, he certainly was. Then you get the sack. You get John Franklin Myers, Jonathan Cooper combined for a sack. Might have been others in there as well, but those are the 2 who probably got there first.
Love it. The Johns.
Yes, they run to the right, pick up a few yards, nothing too crazy there. And then they try pass over the middle. Inu Uzurike reaches up, big guy, just swats it down at the line of scrimmage.
Your guy.
That was certainly my guy. And that was the first little round of team drill. So not so bad. On him. Not so bad. I will always bet on Ini. Nothing crazy with the others, so we can move along to the starters again.
Trey Benson is number 33 according to the chat. Shout out to the Twitter chat.
Oh, Ohio State legend. Maybe not legend. Marvin Harrison Jr. comes open against Damari Mathis in the middle of the field. Just a big crossing route. Could be 15, 20 yards. Kyler Murray misses the throw.
Oh,
you're like, dodge a bullet.
Yeah.
Dodge a bullet. Not a good sign, but dodge the bullet.
Good to hear Damari Mathis back, by the way, because he left practice early yesterday.
Yes.
Good to see him back.
Yes. Short run up the middle. Run defense good all day.
Good.
Basically just stuffed everything up. Then a fumble. When I read through this, it doesn't feel so bad right from the start.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray just seemed to drop the ball. Again, it's a tougher angle because you guys kind of got the sideline.
Yep.
We're up in the far corner.
Yep.
So I was looking through the line because, again, we're up here, offensive line here, Kyler Murray down here. You don't really get to see way down there. And so somehow he just dropped the ball rolling out of the pocket. And it was Dondre Tillman who picked it up.
Okay.
So that was fun. Then you get the post from number 18, who is Marvin Harrison Jr. Jaquan McMillan running with him, stride for stride, jumps up, breaks it up. Unfortunately, that was a free play because they called Pat Surtain for holding, actually. A quick hold call. Kyler threw it.
Pat doesn't hold.
I agree.
Yeah.
Then Same matchup. Marvin Harrison goes deep against Jaquan, and Jaquan still in pretty good position. Looked like Marvin Harrison would have had a chance if the throw was not overthrown.
Okay.
So I read through all this and it doesn't feel as bad.
Yeah.
But then we get to the next team
Well,
period.
Henry, really quick, just because the way you felt was exactly how Zach Allen felt. It was exactly how Sean Payton felt. Sean was obviously with the offense all day, but he said after practice, before he talked to the media, he went over, talked to some Broncos defensive coaches, and they reported to him that it was a slow start. Zach Allen said it was a slow start for us. So to your point, you felt that way, but so did the Broncos.
And I mean, conversation with all the other reporters where, the Cardinals look this good against this Broncos defense. 49ers didn't do this, first of all, but also maybe once the Broncos offense is what we came up with, has been able to do this to the Broncos defense. So it was just kind of general consensus. Again, it wasn't Cardinals blew out the Broncos defense. It was Cardinals probably beat the Broncos defense, and because the defense has been so dominant, it feels worse.
Right.
Next team period. You get Kyler Murray throwing a short little swing route to his running back for 7 yards. Then it's a quick out route. It's Trey McBride against Brandon Jones. Number 33, Trey Benson, as we all know, ran to the left, didn't really get anything. Maybe got ahead by a couple yards, not much. You got Jonathan Cooper getting into the backfield, but Kyler Murray makes a little move and gets out. It's so tough to tell whether that's a sack or not. It's particularly tough. What we decided was, if it was Jarrett Stidham, that was a sack. And that's no offense to him. He just isn't Kyler Murray, and I bet he was not offended by that at all.
No.
Then there was a little flag on the Broncos to end things before the backups came in. Gonna double check these. Nothing all that crazy. Back to the starters. Still second team period, but second time through. You've got the curl to Trey McBride. 5 yards maybe with Brandon Jones right there. And then you got the busted coverage. Yes. You got the busted coverage against Trey McBride. He's wide open. That's a touchdown. You have...
how far was that? How long was it?
They were still on their own side of the field.
So a big one.
Yeah, I believe it was a very big one. Then on the next play, it's Keedron Smith, I believe, in coverage against him because, they rotate the safeties through a little bit. Crossing route, Trey McBride, 20 yards. 20 plus yards because you don't really know how far he's going to wind up going. And that was the real, oh boy, you're just getting gashed right here. Little shifty run up the middle, and that's about all there. Next team period. So this is where you get into the red zone stuff on the defensive side. I had him at about the 15-yard line. I was going to cross-check with all your numbers to see because, again, you probably saw a bit better. You had him at the 20, so I'll bet that they're actually at the 20. Short pass to Trey McBride sets up a 2nd and 5.
Can we just double this guy?
Trey McBride on an out route on the next play.
Can we triple
on the
this
2nd and
guy?
5. You would think they do stuff the run up the middle on the next play. Next play, you have Jonathan Cooper in the backfield from the 6-yard line. A total guess from 150 yards away. I would guess it wasn't actually, knowing now that they start at the 20. Let's call it the 11.
Okay.
No, because they took down the sticks.
Okay.
So they were. I would guess it's about 10. Jonathan Cooper in the backfield. Might have been a sack. Again, tough to tell. Eventually, Kyler Murray throws the ball away. Good result regardless. Tried the fade route. I'm watching with James Palmer, who has said repeatedly, I'm here to see Marvin Harrison Jr. against Pat Surtain. That's the heavyweight matchup. Haven't gotten a lot of it, but this is where we finally got it. Goal line fade. And for some reason, Kyler just throws like this laser that's too high and never really had a chance. Pat was in good coverage.
Boom.
Yep. If it was anybody other than like a freak receiver, you'd be like, there's nothing there.
James, why were you there to see that matchup? Pat's gonna lock him down.
So true.
Come on.
There's again after that last play of this period, they run a sweep to the left. Really good cutback after eventually like halfway between. We'll say closer the numbers than to the sideline. Broncos finally kind of get a little edge set, force the cutback, and there's a bit of a lane. No idea whether that's going for 10 yards and a touchdown, whether it's getting stuffed right there. But nice little cutback from one of their running backs. I didn't write down the number because I had no idea what actually happened. Kyler Murray back on the field. You've got short cross, good cover from somebody who I didn't get the number. Winds up being a high pass. Again, they're so far away.
Why is Kyler throwing so many high passes? Shouldn't he be used to like the shorter passes?
You would think. Little gain, short gain I had on the run to the right. wide zone to the left for another short gain, and then left outside run, another short gain. So there you go. So after this, Jacoby Brissett, came in. And I didn't realize he was a Cardinal. That was actually a fun one when we were standing there.
I didn't either.
And then I can't remember who I was standing. I might have been like Parker Gable from the Post. And I was like, oh yeah, who's number 7? He's like, that's Jacoby Brissett. And I was like, oh, that's Jacoby Brissett. Okay, let's watch some Jacoby Brissett. There's a fade. It's again goal line, probably 10 yards out. Fade. Marvin Harrison Jr., Jaquan McMillan against him again, overthrown. Which is a real shame because those are the ones where I want to see somebody make a play, but fun little matchup.
Too scared about the Broncos.
Kyler Murray back on the field. Nothing comes up.
Before you get to this one, I need to pause this to give a shout out to our friends over at Red Hawk Roofing, where if you need some help with your roof, whether it's for a home or a business, you gotta give our friends over at Red Hawk Roofing a call at the number 720-771-8921, or you can go to redhawkroofing.com. And the cool thing about Red Hawk Roofing is they have been part of our family at DNVR for such a long time, meaning you can trust them. You can not only trust them, but support them, and they know how to take care of your roofing issues. Think about roofing issues. I don't know anything about it. Probably most of the community knows nothing about roofing issues. That's why you got to call the experts at Red Hawk Roofing. You got free no obligation roof and property inspections, free in-depth photo reports for all inspections. And we don't know what's going on, so call in the experts over at Red Hawk Roofing at 720-771-8921. Tell them the DNVR sent you. That's 720-771-8921. And go to redhawkroofing.com. And again, make sure to tell them that DNVR sent you.
And we want to send you over to London, too. So look
There's
up True Fan. I love that, Hawk. More crows in London, I believe. Or what sort of bird?
I think it's the crow.
Raven? No, Edgar Allan Poe was from America. He gives like old England vibes, but he was certainly American. I mean, from Baltimore, actually, I believe. Which is, yeah. So,
wow.
I know nothing about the birds in London, but I'm going to find out because I'm going over there with True Fan Travel, and you guys should too. We're going to be out there for the Broncos game against the Jets. I always mix that up because it's the Jets and then it's the Giants, and they're basically the same team. Benny Fowler is going to be there. If you find him more appealing than us, I think that's a little crazy, but Benny's cool, though. Join us as they take on the Jets middle of October, once-in-a-lifetime trip, 5-night stay at a luxury hotel. We'll get private tours, pub meetups, an exclusive pep rally, tickets to the game, so much more. So travel across the pond with us, with other diehards, explore London our way, and don't miss out on the experience. So book now at truefantravel.com.
And look at this. We've got a Cards fan tuning in with us right now. Shout out to the Vinoverse, who says he misses Zach Allen on his Cardinals. Still wishes they would have paid him. That's one that you really let get away. That's really, really bad. But shout out to you tuning in. Shout out to all the Broncos fans tuning in with us. We really appreciate it. Again, hit us with a thumbs up. Not enough people did it. We have even more people watching than we did when I said this last time, and still not that many likes. Henry is going to be chugging one of those beers.
True.
Warm beers, sitting here for years potentially if we get to that magic number. So hit us with a thumbs up. Okay, Henry, take us through the rest of the Broncos defense.
All right, so now we're to the move the ball period, which we decided started at the 20, which is a good note. Again, from 100 yards away, you really don't know anything for sure. But we do know this. Jonathan Cooper on the first play got in the backfield. Basically a throwaway, threw a high ball to the sideline.
Love it.
Kyler Murray. So it's 2nd and 10. This is where Marvin Harrison started to show up. Marvin Harrison Jr., we should say. Marvin Harrison himself was not there. 2nd and 10, down the field, just beautiful tracking the ball over his shoulder, just almost over his head as he's about to go out of bounds. Like the kind of play where you're like, oh yeah, top 5 draft pick, this guy's insane. It was Raleigh Moss in coverage, wasn't bad coverage. There's nothing you can do about that. And that got him to midfield, so that'd be a 30-yard gain.
Okay. Jeez.
1st and 10, run right. Not much there. Brandon Jones makes the tackle. Now 2nd and 7.5 or so. It's Marvin Harrison on the out route. Throws it up high, kind of over the defender, 10-yard gain. That defender, unfortunately, Patrick Surtain.
Oh.
Yep. Again, it's a good battle. I know who my money is on, but it's a fun battle nonetheless. 1st and 10, run up the middle. 2nd and 10, so they say nothing's there. They're in cover 3. That leaves Riley alone on the boundary against Marvin Harrison. Marvin has a step, and you're like, oh boy, but it's overthrown.
Hey, shout out Kyler.
Shout out Kyler. Altitude's getting to him. Weird things happening with the chains at this point. Eventually, it does wind up being 3rd and 10. There was a flag down. They had moved closer, moved backwards. 3rd and 10. There's a slant. I didn't actually catch who the receiver was. I'm pretty sure it was number 17 who...
Von Vele.
No. I figured out who he was at some point during the practice, and I was like, oh, yeah, that guy. But it was enough to pick up the first down against Jaquan McMillan. Real shame. They are now at the 22-yard line after all of that. 1st and 10. The run goes for nothing. 1 yard. 2nd and 9. It's 17 on a slant. This is where things got weird again. It's a penalty on the defense, but then it wasn't. And 3rd and 10. Not Evan Ingram. They're number 1. I see number 1 and think Evan Ingram. Short over the middle. Does not convert, and that's where the drive ends at the 22-yard line.
Let's go. Okay. So they get in field goal range, but then the Broncos defense is stout.
Nothing we need to know from the backups.
Zay Jones is number 17 according to the Toyota chat.
And that's why I thought.
Thank you, Maddox, Jose, and the Cardinals fan.
Nice year at the Jags before.
Ninoverse.
Yes.
Is this the last period?
This is the final period. Okay. All these numbers.
So got a minute 10 left from their own 30-yard line, down 3, 4th quarter, no timeouts. I assume it was
exactly. Similar. It was the exact same. And this is where the Broncos defense finally.
Let's go.
1st and 10. They go to Zay Jones, as we all know, on a fade route. They try that against Pat Surtain. Doesn't work. He breaks it up. Very pretty play, about 10 yards downfield. Next up, 2nd and 10. Marvin Harrison on a drag route. Then 3rd and 4 with the clock ticking. It's a conversion again over the middle, again to Marvin Harrison. Basically the exact same play. Now, 1st and 10. You have 31 seconds left. Another short gain. And I didn't write down who that was, which is interesting. But 2nd and 2 now. Okay. 2nd and 2 is a blitz. It's coming off the edge. And Jahdae Barron jumps. Remember that Talanoa pick?
Yep.
Jumps equally high up in the air. We're just like, holy cow, and breaks the pass up.
Let's go. Like, Brooks stepping up.
I know. The Jahdae Barron plays, we don't get a whole lot of them, but when they happen, incredible.
Yep.
3rd and 2 now, and in the backfield, you've got Zach Allen, Dondre Tillman, Q Robinson. Oh. That's the order I had him getting to the quarterback. I could be wrong. It's a sack, except they decided it wasn't a sack for some reason. They called the throwaway incomplete, so now it's 4th and 2 with 11 seconds left. They are at the 50-yard line, and the Cardinals line up, and then they jump, and it's a false start. And so now, to reset the scenario, 4th and 7 from just on their own side of the field, 11 seconds on the clock, down 3. They need to find a way to get a field goal. You convert it, you at least get to try like a 60-yarder, 60-something yarder.
Yep.
So what do? Kyler Murray drops back, a little bit of pressure from his left, rolls out to the right, has a receiver kind of crossing the field, but throws it a couple yards out of bounds.
That is
and you're just like, well, you at least give the guy the chance. It's 4th and 7. You're down 3 with 11 seconds in the game. You got to give somebody a chance. Don't throw the ball out of bounds. So the Broncos make that at the end.
Let's go. Okay, yep. Broncos slow start, slow middle, but finish strong on defense.
The people also want to know if Greenlaw or Singleton practiced today.
Singleton, yes. Greenlaw, no.
And let's dive into some big injury updates. Great rundown by Henry, but we got to dive into the injury updates. And the injury update with Greenlaw. Sean Payton said that Greenlaw would be back this week. No big deal. He's going to be good. Greenlaw has not been back this week. He's been doing a little bit of practice, the beginning of practice, but then he has not been doing team. Today we found out that he will be good to go next week. Sean Payton said that about this week, and nothing happened. Sean also said that there's some scar tissue. He really downplayed it. He gave us that information. That scares me a little bit. No reason for him to be back next week, Sean. Let's not do that. So we'll just see. I mean, right now, I'm not holding my breath for him to be back. I just hope he's back by week 1.
Yeah, I mean, totally. He's probably going to be just fine. I think that I would like to see him build some chemistry. I think that for linebackers, that's important. I think anytime you're in a new defense, he can understand where he's supposed to go, how those run fits work. But I also think that having the reps there and going through it and having those conversations, it is important. But again, he'll work out just fine. If the defense isn't totally clicking in the middle for the first few weeks of the season while they get that worked out, it's not the end of the world. The big thing is keep him healthy. And hopefully he gets through the season.
Another star defensive player, Nik Bonitto, was supposed to be back this week at some point. Sean Payton told us earlier in the week. He was not back again today. He is missing this entire week, and we found out that he had a little bone spur on the top of his foot, Sean Payton told us. He had it removed, so had a little procedure, has 3 stitches there, and he should be back next week as well, according to Sean. Says it's not a big deal. It's just something that's going to make him feel more comfortable. I am buying that. Where I'm a little skeptical on the Greenlaw stuff. He's going to be back next week. I do buy the Nik Bonitto's totally fine. He made it very clear, Sean made this very clear, that this was not a hold-in situation by Bonitto, that he actually had a little procedure done. They kept it under wraps. Nick was potentially going to play through it, but decided, okay, it's going to keep me out a week. Let's just do that right now. So I think that's actually good news.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, another one where I'm not too worried about him. You put him out there week 1, his job would be super fast around the edge.
Yeah,
He's good at dropping back in coverage, but again, it's not the most mentally taxing job on the field.
Yep.
That's a way to get your ass kicked when you go to the practice. But
That's
I
very
would say
true.
it's not like middle linebacker. It's not like safety.
Yeah, it's true. On the other side of the ball, Nate Atkins is likely going to miss the start of the season.
Yep.
He had a what's the procedure called? Some type of procedure for a sprained ankle that he had, and he's going to miss a couple of weeks. I would not be surprised if he starts the season on the injured reserve. So
That opens the door for Lucas Kroll.
It does. It does open the door for Lucas Kroll. So that's a bummer for Nate Atkins. Expect him to miss many, many weeks. And then on that same side of the ball, the potentially scary injury of the day, Garrett Bowles. All of a sudden, early on in practice, after a couple of team periods, Garrett Bowles is slowly walking, hunching over, clearly in a lot of pain with medical trainers surrounding him. Then there's 2 ambulances that are always in the parking lot of Broncos practice, just right off of the practice field. Garrett Bowles goes into one of the ambulances, and they're keeping the doors open. They're not turning their lights on, but it's like, this is a concerning situation. Like, some people thought that Garrett was maybe throwing up on the sideline before he got in.
I heard that rumor as well.
Yeah, some people thought he just did not look good, and it's like, what is going on? Really scary. He sits in there. They close the doors. The ambulance still doesn't take off. It's like, okay, that's got to be a good sign. And then 30 minutes later, he walks out. His wife actually went into the ambulance with him, which was really scary. He walks out, pads are off him. He walks straight into the Broncos medical facility. We find out after he was dealing with an asthma situation. It was difficult breathing for him. So overall, it turned out to be okay in a good situation. Seems like short-term, Sean Payton said he is fine. He's going to be fine. But just a scary situation in the middle of practice that happened. So Matt Pert actually stepped in and played left tackle for them, and he did good. The Broncos offensive line, and it was not any worse when he was in there. So that was good to see some depth come through.
Yeah, again, like these are the ones where I didn't see him go in there. We have the defense group on our little island, and it's basically like the Civil War with somebody just like sending a message over there.
Yep.
And Broncos media, it's not like they have the organizational, like tactical skills of Civil War generals. And so somebody shows up and it's like, Garrett Bowles is in an ambulance. And it's like, wait, what? It's like, the ambulance is still here. Like, I guess that's a good thing.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden people are walking by the ambulance, and it's...
I'll tell you what, the DNVR, we had it. Our DNVR guys, the camera people, shout out to RG.
Really?
He was a straight source of information. He was on Garrett
good.
Bowles' watch.
Good.
And it was great. And so I'm glad that Garrett Bowles is okay. Henry, did we hit all the major injuries? I think we did. Someone in the chat saying Michael Burton has a hamstring injury. Yes, that happened. Was that today? Jeez,
Yes.
It felt like yesterday. Yeah, he left practice with a hamstring injury.
Gregory Jr., the depth
Jr.
corner, also hamstring.
Yep, also hamstring. So a couple of injuries, nothing too big. And there's one more big thing that I need to get to, and that is, I'm so sorry for anyone that's going to this preseason game on Saturday. Because for the first time, maybe ever, Sean Payton is sitting his starters in the second preseason game. So is Jonathan Gannon and the Cardinals, as we have our PHNX guys in studio now. Make sure to tune in to their show in 30 minutes from now. The Broncos aren't playing their starters. What? No.
Yeah.
So Saturday, the Broncos are playing all backups.
Yep.
But then a week from Saturday, in the third preseason game, the game where they typically sit all their starters, they're going to play their starters for 8 to 10 snaps against the Saints. I guess Sean just really wants to beat the Saints. No, actually, the reason is because, well, I'll tell you, after we go to overtime right now, make sure to join us at the end of the show over on Overtime at DNVR.com. And the reason that the Broncos are sitting their starters today is because of how much work they got in a joint practice today and last week. And I think this is Sean's way of admitting, the starters got too much work last week in joint practice where they were a little sluggish in that preseason game. So let's not have them be sluggish in this preseason game. Let's get a lot of work in today and then sit them on Saturday.
Yep, and you'd have to be a real moron to have already bet the Broncos money line before the news broke.
Did you?
Yeah. Yeah. Got hit a couple legs of a parlay before that even matters.
Jared Stidham was 14 to 15.
Oh, I still
week.
like it, but I could probably get double the value at this point.
That's true.
But we will be here for that. That's the next time we'll be live. Zach will not be here. He'll be at the game. But it'll be me. It'll be RK. It'll be Benny Fowler. And we're gonna be hanging out for 30 minutes before the game. We're gonna be hanging out right here on this YouTube channel for an entire 3 hours during the entire football game, talking about all these backups. So if you don't want to watch the broadcast, you think you'd get bored just watching the game, come hang out with us. And then even if you don't hang out with us, we'll be live for an hour after that for the postgame show.
And then Broncos practice on Sunday. Don't know if that one's open to the media yet. Monday's their off day. Then Sean made it very clear he is not taking it easy on them to close out camp. They're going to be in pads on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Take off for New Orleans on Friday. Then the starters are going to play 8 to 10 snaps in the final preseason game. And then it's cut down day. And then it's regular season football, baby. And before we get out of here, got to hit a super chat from our friend, Coach Chris. What's up, Coach? He says, love the show, love the updates. It's football time, folks. I'm fearful of the hype coming back and biting us in the backside. Could we be setting ourselves up for a disappointing season? Nervous, but I love my Broncos. Hashtag DB4L. Coach Chris, I totally understand where you're coming from, because there has been hype in the Vance Joseph era, in the Vic Fangio era, in the Russell Wilson / Nathaniel Hackett era. The Sean Payton era is different. And I do feel comfortable, very comfortable, saying that Sean Payton would not go so far out of his way like he has to say the Broncos can have a chance to win a Super Bowl if they weren't a very, very, very good team. And the way he is holding himself and composing himself this offseason makes me truly believe that he believes what he's saying. So I don't think you have to be worried, Chris. I think the Broncos, and I'm comfortable saying that the Broncos are going to back up all the hype surrounding them, especially after Bo Nix came off a massive day today, his best of camp. He ends it on the highest note possible, and we are so happy that all of you were rocking and rolling with us today. Just because training camp's over doesn't mean we're not going anywhere. As Henry said, we'll be back Saturday night. Tune in with us around 7.
What time's the game?
7:30?
Then yes.
Yep, tune in with us around 7.
Or 6:50.
And then you're going to be rolling with us through midnight, pretty much. So
4.5 straight hours. Come hang out.
Get your Coors Lights. Enjoy your Saturday night with us. And then, of course, we're back all of next week as well for the endless future.
And forever.
Yes, forever. As we rock on with this Bo show. Let's frickin' Bo. Enjoy your Friday. Tomorrow we'll see you Saturday.
We all silly like the mayor.